Well, I was about to say the Jace is the first pick option, but JDG just gonna get rid of that one. And our pre-show desk, our analyst desk, they said that Lucian was gonna be priority. They said that the Dragon Lane meta was coming. And Stamina, well, they agree with them.
And we have to mention here, Stamina have this rotating Dragon Lane role.
Yeah.
Gomelo and Cold both come in depending on the situation, and so it won't be Gomelo coming in to fill that spot. But I want to raise an important player for Stamina. It's their Baron leader with Def.
Yeah.
Going up to the top side, he's gonna have his work cut out for him. Having to face off against some of the best competition, Doki being one of the first, he's definitely got his work cut out for him.
One of many, hopefully, for Stamina and Fall with Def. It's going to be a cocky answer here from the side of JDG. They're saying you're going in on the Lucian, you're going to play early game, you're going to play aggressive. Cocky Zix, this is a very stable draft. It calls back to the Varus cocky we used to see. A lot of poke, a lot of long-range artillery barrage coming in. And the best part is, Grandin, a lot of wave clear, a lot of scaling. If your Lucian doesn't break us open in the first 10 minutes of the game, we are set to scale in peace.
And Rico has said this before, they play basically like four types of supports.
Yes.
Allowing for the jungler to really pop off, you know, whether that's going to be Chi here or it's going to be Singdo.
Yeah.
Depending on the kind of situation, Chi coming in, now having to try to fill in that role, it's going to be a big shift, but we want to see how they play with that.
Exactly, and we're still expecting the junglers to be very strong. We're not expecting to see too many jungle pick changes. We still see the Jax coming in likely for the Lezing here, and we're going to see the Kazakhs coming in for Singdo, one of his best picks, one of the highest priority, fourth most picked up ban in the WRL as well. And that's exactly a term for what Riku was talking about, Grandin. They call it Fall Protect 1, or a better way to think about it is Fall Facilitates 1. And you're starting to see the makings of that here for JDG. We've got lots of wave clear, we just need some crowd control, and I think JDG's comp is set for a very typical WRL draft.
I like what Stamina's going for here though. They have the Jax, they have to set, you know, there's still a lot of crowd control, good options to go and split push to farm up. I really want to see where these champions are going to go. There's still a lot of flex opportunities, so the Jax might not go in the jungle, might go somewhere else.
And I do like the Jax to kind of balance out the Lucian as well. Lucian gives you power early. First 2 dragon fights, Lucian's gonna have a lot of power there. And then you kind of let the Jax take over. He starts to become the carry. And we're starting to see the stylistic differences between these 2 drafts come out into play. Renekton, that's exactly what we were saying, right? Setup, we need crowd control. Renekton, point and click, sets up the Kazakhs to just come in, one-shot somebody. Stamina, they want to dive in right now. JDG, they're playing it a little bit more slow, a little bit more options with their draft.
It's good to see some things never change. The Renekton comes back, and time in, time out. Always that staple option, the Baron lane. The Renekton, a very strong, safe option, but Stamina with the curveball.
Well, this Lux is definitely a flex pick, right? The Lucian is also a flex pick, and that's the good thing about Stamina's draft. Despite being on blue side, they've basically drafted 5 flex picks here. I would say the Jax is pretty much set for the jungle role, but everything else you can kind of have a bit of flexibility there. JDG, what's your final answer here gonna be? Likely support, right?
Yeah, JDG still have the support position open, and it's
go.
going to turn out to be the Rakan. A good option when you have a kind of hyper carry in the jungle. You have some support options, but at the same time, you have the crowd control, you have the engage that your team might need.
And I love the adaptation we're seeing here from the side of Stamina. The flex potential of their team comp lets them get the matchups that they want. They're gonna likely go with the Lucian in the mid lane. I think that's great to set up for a Jax jungle. You get Prio, you get Tempo. That lets Jax play the game the way he wants to. You don't want to let Kazakhs take over the game in the early stages, and this draft should allow for that.
And we have so many things to talk about, but I want to go back towards with Def. You know, he's a big standout player in my eyes. Such a young player coming into this, but there's one bit that really catches my eye.
Oh yeah?
He likes pineapple and pizza. We need to see how Stamina have to put up a fight.
I completely agree. Don't ask me my opinion because I'm always going to say WRL 2-0.
All right, game number 1 coming your way as we move into the Rift. We need to see if they have something in mind here. Sirius moves into the mid lane with the Lucian going up against Juju and the Corki. An important matchup for them here. If the Lucian doesn't manage to get a hit, they're going to have some issues, especially once the Corki and the Ziggs start to scale up.
Yeah, I think the Lucian in the mid lane against the Corki is not one of his better matchups because it's short delayed. You can't really pressure the Corki so much. You give him a bit of space to really just chill and farm the wave under his turret. But the problem is exactly this. You're going to give your own jungler some space. So Lezing will have more time to farm, to scale, and that's really the crux of this team comp, I would say.
Well, immediately a strong start happens as Lemon's looking for the solo kill and he finds it without having to blow a summoner away from With Def.
Well, With Def had the barrier, had the flash. I think he kind of just realized he was dead because if he had used the barrier, Lemon would have held it for a second, flash forward, and killed you anyway. And you said With Def was going to get challenged. Lemon comes in, level 2 to level 1. You didn't count the minion waves, you didn't count the creeps, you get solo bolo.
That's the way you have to start this one off. Puts a little bit more pressure on Lezing's top side. You know, we get to see now Lemon gets to go back for the reset. We get to see Doki come in with a beautiful Grand entrance. Serious. Pops the summoner spell. It is going to be the exhaust.
Yeah, well, you don't have to use the flash because I forgot your opponent gets cocky. That champion just does no damage unless he has the package.
He'll do damage at some point. Once he has
eventually, right? I mean, it's a very contentious topic as well. Which cocky build is the good one? Some people say, I hate Howlbreaker. Some people hate, I hate Black Cleaver. Some people hate Essence Reaver. I'm actually a fan of the Howlbreaker because I think that lets Cocky do what he really wants to. Just AFK, scale up in the side lane, and he gets really hard to kill.
And on the topic of the Corki on the package, we have to mention a really big change. Now with the objective spawning slightly later, there is a little bit more flexibility with that package timing.
And I am a big fan of the 5-minute objective spawns as well. I think that's one of the best changes we've seen. Give teams a little bit more space to play in the laning phase. Lemon's already got a solo lead. I want to see mechanics. I want to see individual laning prowess have more of an impact on the outcome of the game. And I think that JDG, well, they're going to be very happy with the change as well with how this laning phase has been going for them.
Lemon's definitely going to be happy. He's almost going to have his Ignite back up, so even with Lezing moving up to the top side, it's going to be a tall task to try and take down Renekton.
Yes. It's going to be very difficult. It gets to a point where Renekton can threaten a 1v2 as well. Voidner just making a trip down here to mid lane, making sure Sirius can get the shove. I think he wants to go for a reset, maybe?
A nice roam, but intercepted here by Doki as they move back in onto Sirius. The Ignite comes down, Culling comes across. Jojo takes a bit of damage on the way out, but still takes away double sums from Voidner.
Very interesting trade there for Avoidant. I think he made a very proactive decision to try to blow a summoner spell. And he wouldn't have been wrong in that regard as well. I trade my flash for your mid laner's flash. Just not a bad call. But Doki, he was well aware. He was waiting in the wings. Really good stuff from JDG to start things off, to really just deny a playmaking attempt.
A lot of ultimates used on the side of Stamina though, and Avoidant a little bit late to pick up his level 5. JDG get a very big engage tool with the Rakan here. Question is, can they pair this together with Singdo? He's been happily farming up a Storm. Doesn't have to worry about things. Lezing, the exact same thing. They're both off in their own jungle. It's a different game for the junglers here.
There's a bit of a timing window, and this is something I love from WRL teams as well. With the objective spawns coming up at 5 minutes, it gives you a bigger window where you can try to sneak a play sometime around the 4-minute mark, where you get your first items completed, where you get your summoner spells, your ultimates, you go sneak a play, and it's up for the objective again.
A binding on to Doki, dashes away, gets back to safety, which should.
A little bit dangerous on him there now with death.
Yeah, this is a bad spot to be in. He has a barrier, but not much left after that. Goes down, and a second kill over the JDG.
Well, when life gives you lemons, you go down 0-2. That's a rough start here from with Death. He still has the barrier as well. I think his mistake in that situation was actually pathing away from the turret. He got isolated, and you know what Kha'Zix does to you, right? He has the Dust Blade picked up right now. 4 minutes, you have a minute to play with. No cams on the map. I want to see this as a timing window for Singdo and Doki to try to sneak a play.
Definitely seems worrying if you're going into this one facing off against JDG, who are going to be able to play as that 5-man. We start to see now Stamina's adaptation. They bring over the bot side, Gomelo and Avoidant up into the top end, trying to deal with Lemon here. A good fight continues as Doki comes in to provide some support, jumps over onto Avoidant, gets the knockback over on the back end, coming through with a little bit more damage, but jumping in, doesn't need it. Still finishes off the kill, and a second pickup as Singdo comes in to clean up the top lane.
And it's so close. They nearly took down Lemon, but I think he knew exactly how much damage he could take there. Gets out of trouble. Ultimates were popped by JDG, but they just need to stall a little bit. Give it maybe 30 seconds, your outs will be up. You'll have the package as well, and the objective fights start to look really good for you as well.
And this is the way that JDG want to go about things, right? They are more than happy to stall things out a little bit longer and just dominate lane.
And Avoidant has been very aggressive. I love to see that from him. He's not been afraid to go for the proactive plays. My issue now is I think, well, we have to look at this first.
Yeah, we don't have time for that. Beautiful face breaker, pulls 2 in, grabs the light binding, taking down Singdo. Jungler gone, and now JDG fighting within the pit.
Oh no.
Ripped Herald stolen away by Stamina. Chi watching as Stamina take away the objective.
And Singdo gets dropped there. That gives it over to the side of Stamina. They get the kills. They lose the kills, rather. Well, they trade 1 for 1. It's not the worst. But they do pick up the Rift Herald that's on Avoidant. He's doing a very good job here. I was just about to say, he might not be used to playing against opponents of this caliber, but just as I was about to say that, the Flash Facebreaker starts to fight off perfectly. It's just going to be an objective.
Avoidant's been doing an amazing job. Been so proactive, taking these calculated risks. At times does not work out, but in this situation, it could help them snowball back in. JDG respond by at least picking up the Mountain Drake in the bottom side. gives them something back for their troubles.
Yeah, this is something we touched on as well, right? The two drafts kind of want to do different things. The two drafts kind of hit different timings of strengths. JDG, they want to play it a little bit slower. This Rift Herald in the pocket of Avoidant could potentially give Stamina something to really just break open the map, break open the mid lane turret. That's something you often have trouble with against a mage, especially against a Ziggs.
Well, pace of the game is going to slow down a little bit again as we look to see junglers continue to snowball their way into a strong point. We have Duskblade come across, looking for his first full item.
Wave is gone.
Strong wave clear, exactly as you expect from the Ziggs. Looking to try and take down Avoidant here. He still has the shield coming across. Singdo gets stunned on the way in. The Kali comes across. The Ignite finishes the job, and the Rift Tower goes down. But not before it takes down the turret with it. Sirius narrowly escapes from Chu.
Nice little exhaust there to get him away from Singdo. Camelo, Lemon wants to dive this.
He's committed for the fight. Doki's coming in here. He's just waiting for the support. They're just making sure they have all the tools they need. Flash still up for Gomelo, but Gomelo goes down to the Ignite.
Very, very clean combo there from Lemon and Doki. This is what I mean when I say WRL teams have the best fundamentals of any team in the world. The little detail to just wait for the Rakan E1 to use your dash, and then he can follow up. I mean, it's just clean, right? I sound like a bit of a fanboy right now, but that's because I am. JDG doing a good job here representing the WRL in their debut game.
And JDG looking for the third turret of the game. Might find it in the bottom side, but Whipdeath's going to hold his own for now. Clearing out waves, that's one of the advantages of having that Garen. Just
and look at how the map flows right now from JDG. It's almost poetic. You shove out the mid lane, you make a play. Well, let's break it down, right? You make a play in top lane. That's a +1 lead for you that you get a lane advantage. You shift your Renekton down to mid lane. That gives you the space to shift your mid laner down to the Dragon lane. And it all just flows like a river from JDG right now. Once they get control, they're going to keep it. I don't think they're going to throw this away. We really have to look out for Avoidant to make another hero play at the next spawn.
You know I have to make the Bruce Lee quote here, right?
Do it. I don't even know what quote you're talking about.
It's a be like water, my friend.
Oh, okay. Wait, is that the full quote?
No, it's like water in a cup, you become the cup, something along those lines, and then like be like water, my friend.
Okay.
So like be flexible, be fluid, like what JDG are doing right now. Something else that we do get to see, Juju does apparently like the Hullbreaker build. That's the thing he's going to try and go for as they're isolating them off this wave.
Yeah, and I don't have a fancy quote for you, but I'm going to tell you, JDG, full control, they're going to dive this.
Yeah, moving on to Sirius. He's flashback on the turret, but your turret is not safe. Lemon chasing after, finds the kill. Over in the back, Singdo still alive, takes down Lazing. And with the laser, trying to do a bit more damage, but Avoidant taken down by the Ignite from Lemon yet again. A double kill for this Renekton.
It's 8 minutes, 9 minutes in the game, and we're rapidly approaching a 10,000 gold lead here for JDG. We said they were scaling. We said it's cocky timer. We said it's Ziggs timer. But despite having these two artillery champs, JD just say, you know what, it's okay. We're going to dive you between your tier 1 and tier 2. We're going to farm you between your turrets. We're going to stun Sirius. We're going to kill him. Singdo does get kind of chunked out, and that's why he kind of drops very early on in the play. He jumps into the spin from the Garen, the Lux AoE, but still, perfect damage calculation from Lemon at the end there. Just really good stuff. Aggressive play, but calculated aggression from JDG.
Trying to take down the turret here. Juju's going to walk in. You guys have to see the ultimates come across. That's
Great package.
That's the Ziggs ones being used. Valkyrie being used across as well. Culling still coming out from Sirius. But nothing else happening. No one able to fully commit to the fight.
Good idea from the package there, but we see more backup coming in.
Well, I say that, but Doki, he's gone in. He's trying to lead the way in, but Avoidant once again goes into the backline. He has that face breaker, but watching the other side of the map, Lemon, Singdo both trying to push up against Gomelo.
And look at the other side of the map. Yeah, that's exactly what you're talking about. They're not going to be able to hold that. Gomelo is all alone. They're going to get the tier 2 for free here.
Pushed away from the turret. That's the split map play. It's so poetic. It's flowing like water. They take the top side, and they push them off the bot side as well.
And that's exactly what WRL teams love to do as well. They love to follow you on the side lane. They love to play the cross map. Give him a champion like Kha'Zix. And if you ever dare to show your face in the side lane, he's going to be there threatening you, pressuring you. Maybe I have a fancy quote, something like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Does that describe Kha'Zix adequately?
Sure.
I can see the
yeah, I can see
head.
it. Like I'm kind of drawing. Yeah.
All right. Well, JDG, doesn't matter what quote you use to describe them, they are just in full control. They've hit the 10,000 at 10-minute gold mark that we kind of talk about. And I want to point out, do you see an interesting item there from Doki? I'm not talking about the Warmox out.
Are you talking about the rocket belt then?
Not about the rocket belt. I think this is Siege Jar he's picked up for himself. He's going to be able to drop some nice little plants. I think it doesn't matter what he buys as well at this point in the game.
Have some idea for what they want to try and get done. Falcon's going to be used again. And Doki, a beautiful move to dance around from target to target, takes down Sirius, and now the exhaust onto Avoinan. He's looking to try and flash away, chasing after with that. Doki once again flashes in. The Grand Entrance is knocked up onto the set. Takes him down. It's going to go over the ship.
Look at Doki!
And Doki, he frankly just does not care.
He's going
He
for a walk.
knows you don't have the turret. He's gonna knock you up again. He's gonna hold you in place. She's like, my feet are too small. I can't get there in time.
And this isn't even cross-map play at this point. This is cross-map domination from JDG. All 3 lanes are being pushed in. They're gonna get the Rift Herald on this mid-tier tree, and they're gonna get it as well with the Ziggs.
Yeah, they just need to use the package.
There we go.
Well, not the package, but a satchel charge.
Yeah.
They take that one down. That is the inhibitor in the mid lane. Gone 11.5 minutes into game number 1.
15,000 gold lead. JDG, they are just accelerating at the pace of light right now, at the speed of light right now. The Dragon, it's not going to even spawn in time, I think. I feel like JDG might be able to close this one out. Just play on 2 lanes, one on the top lane, one on the bot lane. You really just push your lead, and it's about time to close here. The Jax, we said he was the late game insurance. 1 Triforce, 1 Vamp Scepter. Man cannot do a thing right now. Lucian, he's supposed to be the early game power source, but with Howlbreaker, Black Cleaver, you do no damage.
So who deals with Lemon at this point? Who deals with the side lane?
Who deals with anyone? Who deals with Doki, granted?
Who deals with Doki? No one can take him down. He's so nimble. He's able to dash around, looking for the engage. And while they had a good idea of this, Gomel coming in here with the Lux, trying to give them that AP damage, that pick-off potential. They just play into JDG, and JDG will happily accept that.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not many things Stamina can do at this point. I did like the ideas with the draft, and look at that, just Renekton threatening the solo kill on the Garen, forcing the flash. He had the Howlbreaker proc as well, he just couldn't do a thing against Lemon.
A swift flash away from Whiff Death means he won't have that tool again. That's a bomb side turret gone, top wave not pushing in, but I don't think they care.
I'm gonna be very real with you here. I think this one is about done. I want to see if Whiff Death next game issues a challenge to Lemon.
Here we go, engaging in on the turret, goes golden first, but you have the package already used and drawing a line in the sand. A beautiful pull out from Avoinan. Manages to pull in and take down Jojo. They dived into the can they be punished? Sirius gets caught out, Singdo and Doki again taking him down.
And the hero right there was Avoinan. They dive in from the side of JDG, but Avoinan just stuns up 5 members with a Facebreaker, brings Jojo back into the team, and might have gone a bit too aggressive now.
All eyes on Avoinan. He knows he has to be the one to make a play.
He has been trying his best to make a play this entire game. Call back to the laning phase. He went for the flash Facebreaker onto Jojo, but it wasn't enough. It hasn't been enough. His team has not been there to back him up. They simply cannot get past the phalanx that we're seeing from JDG right now. Just too good.
Second inhib gone, Baron is up, and that should be the final nail in the coffin. At least in game number 1, Stamina. Need to find a way to recalibrate moving into game number 2.
And keep your eye on Avoinan right now. He finds an amazing angle, really just gets all 5 members without needing a flash, and this was the hero play. This saved the day. This lets them fight another day. Look at how low everyone on the side of Stamina is. Sirius tries to go back in. He wants to be a bit aggressive, but his team, they're all 1 HP. They can't back you up. That's about it, right? Baron with this team comp is basically free here for the side of JDG.
They've stolen the Rift Herald, now they need to steal the way to Baron.
They can't even walk in.
Once he gets some vision for his team, but Singdo's hot on his tail and will take him down. With a little bit of help from Doki, they get caught on the way out, but he's going to flash in either way. Beautiful tag back over on the side. Whiff Death comes in, finally manages to get the execute onto the Rakan, taking down the biggest nemesis in this game.
And I've been really liking the synergy that we've been seeing from Chi and Doki as well. We said that Timeless one, he was a big part of JDG's successes. He was one of the up-and-comers that the team plays around. But Chi and Doki have had tremendous synergy. Now, I know that's not something you usually say about a Ziggs Rakan combo, but every time that's the Inferno Bomb comes in,
he holds you in place, and then the ult comes in.
Exactly. It's kind of like when you hold the guy's arm behind his back, and your friend goes and punch him 1 or 2 in the face.
Okay, yeah,
Just an example.
Sure. Like that, right?
Like
just
that.
Holds him.
Well, that's like 3-on-1.
Renekton goes in, stuns him, holds him in place, and then Sirius gets barraged by the other spells.
Well, Singdo is very aggressive here.
He's in a bad spot, but he has Lemon to back him up. The teleport's now starting to come in, just goes into his ultimate. He goes invisible. You can't touch him. And so they walk in on your base. They have the Baron powder minions. There's no way to stop them, even as you try and get a little more damage on the way out. They start to walk in on the Nexus, and you have the Guardian Angel. You have too much against you. JDG show up on the international stage with a beautiful fashion. Game number 1 goes their way.
And it was a bit of a bloodbath as well. It was a bit of a slacking here from JDG as well. And
I would even say with death on the Garen. We already kind of talked about our thoughts on that. Yeah, the Lux actually did a lot of work here for Stamina. But then you look at the Baron lane matchup, and that was the big differentiator here. If Stamina is saying, all right, with death, we're going to give you the Garen so that you survive, and then he dies level 1, what do we think about the superstar coming in from the LATAM team? Because this is a young player. We know he's a stud in his own region, but now at the international stage, this is a new level of competition.
But that's the thing, right? If you're a Garen, you can't really exactly do playmaking, like flashy plays as the Garen. So most likely, if he's able to create an impact, something similarly to Riven, a Fiora, something that can possibly open up an outplay scenario. I know it's very difficult because you're up against JDG.